LaDainian Tomlinson wasn't just a football player. He was poetry in motion. With his quick-cut style, unrelenting drive, and unmatched work ethic, he left a permanent mark on the NFL during the 2000s. Known simply as LT to fans, he became the face of the San Diego Chargers and redefined what a running back could be in the modern era. Born on June 23, 1979, in Rosebud, Texas, Tomlinson was raised by a single mother who instilled in him the values of discipline and faith. His father, Oliver Tomlinson, passed away in a tragic accident when LaDainian was only a child. Despite the hardship, his mother, Lorian Chappelle, supported her son's dreams relentlessly, often reminding him that hard work and faith would carry him through. As a young boy, Tomlinson idolized Walter Payton. He would watch tape after tape of sweetness, studying the way he ran, the way he carried himself, and the way he treated the game. That influence stayed with Tomlinson throughout his career, not just in his playing style, but in his humility and sportsmanship. Tomlinson's football journey began in earnest at University High School in Waco, Texas. Although he didn't start playing organized football until he was in middle school, his talent was unmistakable. He excelled as both a running back and a linebacker. By the time he graduated, he had drawn the attention of college scouts across the country. However, many major programs passed on him. Despite his raw speed and power, some scouts believed he lacked the ideal size for a feature back. But one school that didn't doubt his potential was Texas Christian University, TCU, and that's where Tomlinson began to truly shine. At TCU, Tomlinson took the Mountain West Conference by storm. By his junior year, he led the nation in rushing with over 1,850 yards. In his senior season, he cemented his place as a top NFL prospect by rushing for 2,158 yards, becoming just the seventh player in NCAA history to cross the 2,000-yard mark in a season. His efforts earned him the Doak Walker Award, given to the nation's top running back, and he finished fourth in the Heisman Trophy voting in 2000. But more than individual accolades, Tomlinson brought national attention to TCU, a program that had long been overshadowed in Texas football circles. The 2001 NFL Draft saw Tomlinson selected fifth overall by the San Diego Chargers, a team desperate for a franchise player and an offensive identity. From the moment he arrived, Tomlinson delivered. He rushed for over 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns in his rookie season, quickly proving that his college dominance would translate to the pros. But what set LT apart wasn't just his rushing ability. He could catch passes out of the backfield, block, and even throw touchdowns. His versatility made him nearly impossible to game plan against. As the Chargers rebuilt around Tomlinson, he became the heart of the team. Between 2001 and 2007, he rushed for over 1,200 yards in every season. In 2003, he became the first player in NFL history to rush for over 1,000 yards and catch 100 passes in the same season, a feat that showcased his complete skill set. Then came 2006, the season that would define his legacy. Tomlinson didn't just lead the NFL in rushing that year. He dominated it. He ran for 1,815 yards and a mind-blowing 28 rushing touchdowns, setting the all-time single-season record. Add in 3 receiving touchdowns, and he finished the year with 31 total, a record that still stands. He was named the NFL Most Valuable Player and Offensive Player of the Year. His Chargers went 14-2 in the regular season and were the top seed in the AFC. Although their playoff run ended sooner than expected, Tomlinson's season was considered one of the greatest individual performances in NFL history. But greatness didn't make him arrogant. Teammates, coaches, and fans alike praised Tomlinson for his humility, leadership, and professionalism. He rarely celebrated with flashy antics. Instead, after each touchdown, he would calmly flip the ball to the referee and jog back to the sideline. His signature move, the Tomlinson tear, eye black, and his gliding, almost effortless stride, became iconic. He wasn't a bruiser like Earl Campbell, nor did he have Barry Sanders' improvisational flair. Tomlinson's gift was his vision, his cut-and-go style, and his ability to make defenders miss with minimal movement. But as with all great players, time eventually catches up. By 2007, Tomlinson had already secured his place among the NFL's elite. But football is a game of wear and tear, especially for running backs. Though still highly productive, Tomlinson's body began to feel the toll of years of heavy usage. The injuries were subtle at first, nagging turf toe, sore ribs, but they began to chip away at his explosiveness. In 2008 and 2009, his rushing numbers dipped below the 1,000-yard mark for the first time in his career. Though he remained an emotional leader for the Chargers, whispers began to circulate. Some fans and analysts wondered if LT had peaked. The Chargers faced tough decisions. With quarterback Philip Rivers ascending into his prime and a new offensive direction taking shape, the front office chose to release Tomlinson in February 2010. It was the end of an era in San Diego. Fans were heartbroken, and Tomlinson himself was visibly emotional, but he still believed he had something left in the tank. He signed with the New York Jets shortly afterward, a team known for its rugged ground game and defensive identity under head coach Rex Ryan. Though wearing green instead of powder blue took some getting used to, Tomlinson embraced the role of a veteran leader on a young, hungry team. In 2010, he enjoyed a strong bounce-back season, rushing for over 900 yards and helping the Jets reach the AFC Championship game. Though no longer the centerpiece of the offense, Tomlinson's presence was invaluable both on the field and in the locker room. He provided wisdom, leadership, and, when called upon, those flashes of vintage brilliance. By 2011, however, the writing was on the wall. Tomlinson's role diminished as the Jets transitioned to younger backs. He finished his final season with modest statistics, and in June 2012, LaDainian Tomlinson announced his retirement from professional football. But LT's story didn't end there. On the day of his retirement, he signed a ceremonial one-day contract with the Chargers so he could officially retire with the team that drafted him. The press conference was emotional. He spoke with grace and humility, thanking teammates, coaches, fans, and most importantly, his mother, who had never missed a single game in his entire career. Over 11 NFL seasons, Tomlinson amassed 13,684 rushing yards, fifth all-time at the time of his retirement, and 145 rushing touchdowns, the second most in NFL history. Add in another 4,772 receiving yards and 17 touchdown receptions, and you get a player who contributed in every way imaginable. He also threw 7 touchdown passes, further illustrating his versatility. In the red zone, he was a nightmare for defenses, capable of running, catching, or even throwing for scores. In 2017, Tomlinson was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame on his first ballot, a no-brainer for one of the most dominant running backs the league had ever seen. His speech that day was as memorable as his touchdowns. He spoke not just of football, but of unity, purpose, and love. He said, "Football is a microcosm of America. All races, religions, and creeds living, playing, and succeeding side by side. When we huddle, we become one." It was a message that transcended sports, a call for community, compassion, and understanding in a divided world. After retirement, Tomlinson didn't disappear from the spotlight. He joined NFL Network as an analyst, offering insightful commentary with the same intelligence and humility that defined his playing days. He also turned his focus to philanthropy, particularly through the Tomlinson's Touching Lives Foundation, which supports education, social justice, and families in need. One of the most remarkable aspects of Tomlinson's legacy is how he managed to be both an athletic marvel and a role model. He was the ultimate professional, never involved in scandal, never flashy for the sake of it, never disrespectful. He played the game with passion, but also with dignity. To fans of the Chargers, LaDainian Tomlinson will always be more than just a football player. He is a symbol of hope, of effort, and of doing things the right way. To fans of the game at large, he stands as one of the last great workhorse backs in a league that was beginning to shift toward passing dominance. Even now, younger running backs cite him as an inspiration. His highlights, those sharp cuts, sudden bursts, leaping goal line dives, are still studied and admired. What made LaDainian Tomlinson special wasn't just the records or the MVP award. It was the completeness of his game. He didn't just run. He caught, blocked, led, taught, and inspired. He was the kind of player you could build a team around, and the kind of person you'd want your children to look up to. In an era filled with egos and controversies, LT remained grounded. He carried himself with grace. He respected the game, and the game respected him right back. Final tally. 13,684 rushing yards, 145 rushing touchdowns, 4,772 receiving yards, 17 receiving touchdowns, 7 passing touchdowns. NFL MVP 2006. 5 times Pro Bowl, 3 times First Team All-Pro. Walter Payton Man of the Year 2006. Pro Football Hall of Fame Class of 2017. LaDainian Tomlinson. A Charger. A legend. A man who ran with heart and never ran alone.